Hi, welcome to this episode. So today I will show you how I extended the sustainability power app by using an API in order to calculate the carbon emissions. So in the previous video I showed you a small example of using the car as a trip, as a scenario when you locally have some emission factors that can be used in order to calculate the carbon footprint. But actually in a real world scenario, probably you will use an API or another system to do the calculation for you. So what I will show you next is the flight example. So I will click on flight, and as you can see on the screen, I have to pick some input. I have to pick some values here. So I have the departure airport, the destination airport, and the number of passengers, and actually all three are really important for me. So let's take an example. So let's say I'm in München and I will search for the München airport, and I'm traveling to, let's consider a sunny place. So beloved place is Barcelona. So let's say, okay, I want to fly to Barcelona International Airport. And I'm not alone, I'm together with my family. So let's put here 4, because I'm traveling also with my kids. And then I click on calculate. As you can see, in a few, I would say less than 2 seconds, I already get my results, and I already have on the screen that the carbon footprint is around 0.506 tons for the number of 4 passengers. Of course, afterwards, if I want to do another calculation, I can click the reset button and choose another destination here. I can also calculate for an entire plane if I wish, or maybe for one person. Actually, I will travel back to Bucharest, and I will do it from Zurich. So let's put here Zurich airport. You can see here that the string as a name is a little bit funny, but this is another thing to solve. And the destination airport is, like I said, Bucharest. I think that the name is Quando Otopen, so I have it, and I'm only one person. Let's see if it's working. So yes, as you can see, the duration, the distance here is almost 3,000 kilometers. Wow, it's a lot. I wouldn't expect it. And you can see almost 0.2 tons carbon footprint. So actually this is how you can automate a little bit, or how you can enhance a little bit such an application. And what I will do now, I will show you what's behind the application. And what I will do next, I will show to you what I used in order to get this result here. So first thing first, you saw that I have a list of airports, and actually I don't want to store them in a collection. I want to store them somewhere in a database, and of course we use Dataverse for this, but you can use another source. Maybe you have them on SharePoint, maybe you have them in a SQL database, even an Excel file is all right. If you are using, of course, Excel Online, storing it on SharePoint or OneDrive. And actually I'm using Dataverse, as I said, so I have my code here. You can see that I defined the code. I can show you a little bit of data. So I just imported it via CSV, so that's why I didn't touch the names. But as you can see, I have a long list of airports that I can access. And actually this is great because, as you can see, I have a list here of all the airports that are important for me. So there is a long list of airports. Then what I still have as a piece of technology, I have a power app, and actually this is what I have behind. So I can show you the power app, what it's doing. So I'm on the Power Automate admin center. You can see I also had some field flows. Sometimes the code of the airport is not correct, so that's why I get the fail here, because I'm connecting to an API. So I can show you my flow here. Let's take the last run. I'm triggering via a button my flow, and as you can see, it takes like 3 input variables. So I have the destination, I have the departure airport, and also the number of passengers. And next I'm connected to an API. So this is the API that I'm using in order to get my calculations, and afterwards I'm parsing what I get as a result, as an output. As you can see here, I get a JSON object, and then I'm parsing it, and I'm using only what's important for me, and I'm responding to the Power App because I want to take the distance and I want to take the carbon result as output variables and bring those two variables inside my Power App. So this is, I would say, a normal, easy flow where I get some values from Power App. I'm using them as input to my flow. Maybe I'm using an API because I want to calculate. I'm using a service, as an external service for this calculation, and then I'm responding back, and I'm bringing back the two variables, so the distance and the carbon emissions, to the Power App again. Okay, and now I can show you how I trigger it. So once I get all my information here, I have the calculate button, and the calculate button has the onSelect property. I have a variable, actually I'm using a variable to collect the outputs of the flow. So as you remember, I have my flow that also responds with two variables, with the distance and also with the carbon emission back to my Power App. Well, actually what I'm doing, I'm holding and I'm keeping those two values in a variable. Yeah, I will simulate it, and actually, as you can see, I'm using them here. So I'm using the var API results dot distance variable, as you can see, and also the carbon result, and I divide it to 1000 because I want the result in tons and not in kilos, so that's why. And once I have the values inside my global variable, as you can see, only the reset button is available, and I can press the reset button, and then no button is available anymore because I can show you. So as you can see here, the logic: if API result as a global variable is blank, then don't show me the button, and if it's not blank, then show me the button. And the calculate button, if we're looking at it, so the flight screen, let's see the button. We have the button calculate flight. If I'm using, and if I'm looking at the visibility, so the formula for the visibility is a little bit more complex, because if we have an empty API result variable and the three controls here, so the two drop boxes and also the text box, the number of passengers, are not blank, then show me this button, because it means that I have all the information I need in order to do the calculation, and I already pressed the reset button that makes my API result variable empty, and this means that I can do another calculation. So this was the logic behind it. Good, I hope you enjoyed this extension of the Carbon Footprint app. As a summary, you saw how you can use an API in order to get some calculations, and how you can use Power Automate in order to get your input variable from an external system. I wish you a great day, and thank you very much for watching. See you, bye bye.